emerging brands, which are things you may not be familiar with at all, right? And then you have franchises which are very well established. Very well established. McDonald's. We've all seen the movie with Ray Kroc. You have emerging brands. 20 years ago, Dunkin' Donuts would have been considered an emerging brand.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to start somewhere. One of the things that emerging brand technology changes too. So we got to think about it in that concept. If you would have told me when I was 22 that the payphone would have been gone, I never would have believed you. I find a payphone today. So you got to look for organizations that are adapting to the environment that we currently live in. So for an established brand that doesn't change and move, they're gonna struggle, right? Blockbuster. We used to have the Blockbuster bowl games. They're not even in business anymore, right? They had the opportunity to buy Netflix and they missed it. That applies to franchises as well. You know, there are brands that if they're not evolving and growing, they won't be here. So this is what I mean by established brands versus emerging brands. Now, of course, emerging brands have a little more risk associated with them because they are newer. But if they are grasping technology and thinking differently, you got to remember that for the next, depending on what industry you're in, you got to be able to grow and evolve and change. So there is a difference. You do typically with emerging brands, you need somebody with a little more risk tolerance in their background, their DNA. More established brands, perfectly okay. Just depends on their DNA. But I would tell people to do this. Think about how they're changing. When you're doing your due diligence and you're talking to these people and you're talking to other franchise owners, if they keep doing this, look, we know it works, follow this playbook, but if they're not doing anything to evolve, maybe that's not the best established brand to go with. Now, emerging brand, if you are by personality not the biggest risk taker in the world, yet you do want to go into business for yourself, I don't know that an emerging brand is right for you either, but they're right for somebody. And so that's part of the discussion that you got to go through.